Ghostrunner is one of those games that has a really great idea, some amazing aesthetics, but I feel that the implementation just leads to some frustrating and annoyance in its design. And I would like to thank developers to give me a press key to check this one out, because this is one of those games that's going to end up being very polarizing among consumers. The story is that it is the far future. The cyberpunk dystopia has happened, and we are a Ghostrunner. Basically, think super futuristic cyborg ninja. And we have been activated to try and take back the tower where all of humanity resides from the evil Keymaster. Now, standing in our way is going to be a combination of platforming and lots of enemies. The gameplay itself kind of feels like a mix between several different designs. You have kind of like the Prince of Persia, Mirror's Edge, kind of transversal in terms of wall running, wall jumping, dashing, and just keeping yourself mobile. That's combined with the highly skilled perfecter skill execution design of its combat system that feels like something like Ghostrunner or Hotline Miami. Every enemy in this game, for the most part, is a one-hit kill. The twist, of course, is that so are you. When you start out playing the game, you have this kind of air slow down dash, and you can also dash on the ground as well. Get hit, and it is back to the last checkpoint. And the game checkpoints pretty much before each new arena. Now, to get through this game, each level will also introduce new elements, challenges, and there is an upgrade system in kind of like a Tetris style design. You get these various puzzle pieces that you can slot into your character on the right hand side, with more of those slots becoming open as you progress through the game. Whatever parts you equip become active, and they're categorized by various elements. So just being able to make enemies more visible, give yourself a second dash, and so on. Now, in terms of the actual gameplay itself, Ghostrunner is just entirely focused on combat and first-person platforming. If you are not into either one of those, you can just turn this video off now. The game is not going to do it for you. And that is kind of like the MO of this game. This is a razor-focused kind of design, and it is really meant to be played one way. You have to be aggressive in this game to have any chance at surviving, and the arenas turn into kind of miniature combat puzzles, as you need to figure out what order do I deal with these enemies that will leave me the least exposed and allow me to just go from 1, 2, 3, 4, kill them immediately. As you play through the game, you do unlock new powers, such as Blink, that gives you a chance to basically set up a dash kill with enemies within a certain range. You can also unlock the ability to deflect or reflect bullets back at opponents. And a lot of this is basically tied to mission progress. There are hidden collectibles in the world, which I could not find any of them without the special collectible seeker on the map. And as you've been watching these last almost 4 minutes now, you can tell that this is a challenging game. One-hit kill notwithstanding. And this year, we have certainly seen some amazing challenging games built on high-speed play. Ultra Kill, Doom Eternal being two of my favorites. Unfortunately, Ghostrunner, I feel, fails in a few key areas to keep the frustration level low. And we're going to be spending probably the bulk of this video talking about them next. But first, a quick break. And now for a quick shout out to our current Game Wisdom supporters and sponsors. Going forward, all Patreon supporters will get early access to our videos. And if you'd like to continue this discussion on game design, be sure to check out our Discord channel, linked down below. If you're looking for more wisdom about game design, be sure to check out my latest offering of books, 20 Essential Games to Study, aimed for first-time developers and students looking for some inspiration for their upcoming games, and game design deep dive platformers if you're interested in anything regarding 2D and 3D platforming design. They're both available in print, digital, and wherever books are being sold. Ghostrunner, as we've said, is a very high skill intensive game. But the problem is where that skill is being focused on. During our playlist on stream, I ran into a lot of frustration with the controls, particularly with there was some unresponsiveness to how I was moving and attacking. For instance, there were many cases where I would land near an enemy, mash the left mouse button to try and get an attack off, and my character would not attack. Likewise, using the grappling points, as you can see in those blue circles, also felt a little janky, as there are cases where I would aim at it, and he would not grab it, or would not pull me in the direction that I wanted. And the problem is that all these little weird inconsistencies and problems lead to high frustration in a game like this, where an entire 2 to 3 minutes of play can be erased because of one misclick or one thing not working. And this is where I feel Ghostrunner is going to lose a lot of people. It's just frustrating to play. One of the things that made Doom Eternal and Ultra Kill work so well is that it really gave the player full control in their respective game spaces to then figure things out in real time. In Ghostrunner here, everything feels very on rails and not so much hand-holding, but punishing if you go off the beaten path. For the platforming, wall running, sliding, and all that is really cool, but every platforming section is entirely linear. You have to do it this one way or you will not be able to survive. With the combat here, again, the kind of combat puzzle kind of design kind of breaks down when there really is only one way to fight. In these early levels, the enemies get an invincible shield that you have to hunt down whatever bot is providing it to them, or you will not be able to hurt them. Which means that once again, there's no other way to succeed other than that one strategy. Now, the game again does introduce new abilities and defensive options as you get further in, but I feel the game takes way too long to introduce that to players who need it. For those of you who do manage to get past these early levels, chances are you will not be needing the advanced maneuvers because you're already good at this game. But for the people who are struggling with one-hit kill rules and just the cumbersome nature of the controls and movement, you're not going to be able to see this game or see those offerings. I also found it very frustrating with just how hard it was to control my character. You've noticed several times throughout this video that I do the dash. My problem with the dash and general jump is that the game doesn't seem to be smart about where I'm trying to go with it. There are cases where I would wall run to try and hit a drone, and because my character wasn't perfectly lined up, it just kind of passed over or underneath them. The enemy's tracking is also very suspect as well, as there are cases where they would track me as I'm running and jumping between these platforms and there's just literally no other way for me to move, but they still get me. And again, you have to make use of this air dash to slow yourself down. And I think having some kind of time manipulation on the ground will help as well. And I'm pretty sure they must unlock more of that as time goes on. This reminds me in terms of my issues with the game Scourgebringer, which if you're watching this right now, that video should be going up really soon on the channel. In that, I don't feel like I'm the one in control when it comes to fighting and the combat. And that is not the same way that I felt with Doom Eternal and Ultra Kill. In those games, when I fail, I felt that it was on me. In this game, I feel like I'm fighting these controls and the design. And that's not what you want to happen in a high-skill, high-speed action game. Like I said at the start, this is a game with a very explicit audience. And there are people probably leaving comments down below saying that you suck at this game, get good, it's your fault, it's not the game's problem. But again, when these titles become frustrating to play, it just saps any enjoyment out of trying to learn these systems. And I do feel that Doom Eternal and Ultra Kill are better examples of power and high skill. And ultimately, I just felt like I didn't want to keep playing this game. And that is certainly a shame, because when it clicks, this game can be very enjoyable. But every time that the controls messed up or just didn't feel right to play, it's just kind of like a huge record scratch moment. And that, again, is a killer, no pun intended, for a game like this. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this game for those of you who did play it? And if you are new, check out our Discord and Patreon link down below. As always, I'd like to thank developers for providing a press key, and if you'd like me to tackle your game in the future, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Come back for daily discussions on game design here, and on game wisdom, where some of the art and science of games. Once again, this has been Ghostrunner, and until next time, take care. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed things, be sure to do all the liking and subscribing that the kids are doing these days. Check out our Discord channel link down below where we hang out and chat game design, and come back later tonight for our regular streamings. But that's it, and tune in for more great content here and on Game Wisdom, where we examine the art and science of games.